Have you ever heard the saying, elephants never forget? Well, this real story might just prove it true. It all began on a sunny morning in 2021 in the lush forests of eastern Thailand. Dr. Paul Mannion, a veterinarian with decades of experience working with wildlife, was doing what he always did, patrolling the wilderness, checking on animals and ensuring their well-being. But on this day, something incredible was about to happen. As he walked through the forest, Dr. Mannion heard a rustling noise just ahead. He stopped, listening carefully. His heart raced a little faster. Suddenly, out of the trees, an elephant appeared, moving with surprising grace. Even from a distance, Dr. Mannion could tell this was a wild elephant. You see, experienced vets like him can spot the differences between a wild and a domesticated animal pretty easily. This one had the sharp alertness of an elephant born and raised in the wild. As the elephant approached, Dr. Mannion felt something tug at his memory. There was something familiar about the way it moved, a slight limp in its step, and then it hit him. Could this be Plai Tang, an elephant he had rescued over a decade ago? Let's rewind to 2009, when Dr. Mannion first met Plai Tang. Back then, a team of rangers found a sick and weak young elephant in the forest, barely hanging on to life. They quickly called Dr. Mannion for help. The elephant was in terrible shape, dehydrated, feverish, and struggling to survive. After assessing the situation, Dr. Mannion realized this was going to be a tough battle, but he wasn't ready to give up. After stabilizing the elephant as much as he could, Dr. Mannion arranged for Plai Tang to be transported to a sanctuary in Lampang province, where he and his team could provide long-term care. It turns out the poor elephant had a parasitic infection called trypanosomiasis, often known as sleeping sickness. The road to recovery was long and grueling, but after months of intensive treatment, Plai Tang began to recover. Slowly but surely, his appetite returned, his fever subsided, and the painful swellings on his body began to heal. The only lasting mark of Plai Tang's illness was a limp from a stubborn foot sore, which never fully healed. But beyond the physical scars, something much deeper formed between the two, a bond. Plai Tang developed a special connection with Dr. Mannion, responding to his voice and touch like no other. For months, they explored the sanctuary together, inseparable. When the time came for Plai Tang to return to the wild, it was a bittersweet moment for Dr. Mannion. He had grown attached to this remarkable animal, but he knew that the wild was where Plai Tang truly belonged. Now, fast forward 12 years to that morning in 2021. As Dr. Mannion lay eyes on the approaching elephant, he was filled with a mix of hope and doubt. Could this really be Plai Tang? He wasn't sure, but before he could confirm it, something unexpected happened. He tripped over a stone and fell, twisting his ankle painfully. As he lay there unable to move, fear crept in. The elephant was getting closer and closer. What would it do when it found him? Wild elephants, after all, aren't always the most predictable creatures. The massive animal stopped right in front of him. Dr. Mannion's heart pounded, and then the elephant stretched out its trunk, gently nudging him. In that moment, the vet saw it, recognition in the elephant's eyes. Dr. Mannion whispered, "Plai Tang?" And as if in response, the elephant's demeanor softened. It was him. The elephant remembered. But not only that, Plai Tang seemed to understand that Dr. Mannion was hurt. Slowly, carefully, the elephant wrapped its trunk around him and helped him to his feet. Dr. Mannion leaned on Plai Tang for support, using his old friend's strength to stand. But what happened next was truly astounding. As Dr. Mannion steadied himself, the elephant did something no one could have expected. He gently embraced his old friend with his trunk, as if to comfort him. It was a moment of pure connection between human and animal, a reminder of the bond they had formed all those years ago. Elephants are known for their incredible memories, but seeing it play out like this in real life was nothing short of miraculous. Despite more than a decade apart, Plai Tang had not only remembered Dr. Mannion, but had also recognized his need for help. As they stood together, surrounded by the forest, Dr. Mannion was reminded of why he had chosen this path. Moments like these were what made all the challenges, the heartbreak, and the hard work worth it. And that's the story of how a wild elephant, after 12 years, recognized the vet who saved his life and in turn became the hero. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you as much as it moved us, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, sometimes the connections we make with animals are more powerful than we realize.